warm welcome back to the Miss English podcast, a place where learning English feels simple, practical, and enjoyable for everyone. My name is Chloe, and I'm so happy you are here with us today.
Hello, Chloe. And hello to all of our amazing listeners tuning in from different countries around the world. I'm really excited to be here with you again for today's episode.
It's great to see you, Ethan. You look very awake and full of energy this morning. Did something good happen today?
Yes, actually. I slept very well last night, and I treated myself to a big, healthy breakfast, so I feel ready to talk, ready to learn, and ready for anything. How are you feeling today, Chloe?
I'm doing very well, thank you for asking. I feel calm, but also a little excited because today's topic is something many learners really need.
Oh, now I'm curious. Is it a fun topic like food, hobbies, or traveling to new places?
Not exactly fun, but extremely important. Today's lesson is about real-life English, the kind of English you might need suddenly.
Real-life English sounds very useful. That's the kind of English people actually use outside the classroom.
Exactly. Today, we're going to talk about situations involving the police and how to speak clearly and calmly.
The police? That definitely sounds serious. Some people might feel nervous about that topic.
That's true, but our goal is to make it easy, simple, and friendly. Everyone should know how to ask for help and explain a problem.
You're absolutely right. If you live in another country or travel abroad, these phrases can be very important.
Before we begin this important lesson, we'd like to ask you for a small favor.
Yes, please take a moment to subscribe to the Miss English podcast. Your support really helps us continue making lessons.
And don't forget to like this episode. It helps other English learners discover our content.
You can also share it with a friend who wants to improve their English. Okay, Chloe, let's begin our discussion.
Let's start. Ethan, here's a question for you. Have you ever contacted the police before?
That's a good question. Let me think for a moment. Yes, I have called the police once.
Really? That must have been a little scary. What happened?
It was a bit stressful, yes. This happened a few years ago when I was living in my old apartment.
Okay, so you were at home. Was it during the day or at night?
It was very late at night, around 2 o'clock in the morning.
Wow, that's extremely late. Most people are sleeping at that time.
Exactly. I was asleep, but suddenly I woke up because I heard a very loud sound.
A loud sound? Was it something dangerous?
No, thankfully it wasn't dangerous. It was loud music playing nearby.
Ah, so someone was having a party.
Yes, my neighbors were having a big party, and it was on a weekday.
That's not ideal. People usually need rest before work.
Exactly. I waited for a while, hoping the music would stop, but it didn't.
So that's when you decided to call the police?
Yes, but I didn't call the emergency number. I used the non-emergency police number.
That's a very important tip. Can you explain the difference? Oh, okay.
Of course, emergency numbers like 911 or 112 are for serious danger, fires, accidents, or injuries.
Right. But loud music isn't an emergency.
Exactly. It's annoying, but not dangerous. So I called the local police station.
What did you say when they answered the phone?
I felt a little nervous and tired, but I said, "Hello, I would like to report a noise complaint."
That's an excellent phrase. Noise complaint is very useful.
Yes, it simply means someone is being too loud.
And how did the police officer respond?
The officer was polite and calm. He asked for my address and my name.
Giving your address clearly is very important.
Yes, I told him my street and house number. Later, a police car arrived.
Did they solve the problem?
They spoke with my neighbors, and the music stopped. Everything became quiet again.
That's a great example of calm and clear communication. I actually have a story too, but mine happened while traveling.
Oh, interesting. Tell us about it.
I was visiting a large city with a close friend. We were walking through a beautiful park.
That sounds relaxing.
It was. We sat down on a bench to enjoy some ice cream and take a short break.
Ice cream and a park. Perfect combination.
I remember clearly that I placed my bag on the ground, right next to my feet while we were sitting on the bench.
Oh no. Chloe, I think I already know where this story is going.
Yes. We were talking, laughing, and enjoying our ice cream, and when I finally looked down, my bag was no longer there.
Oh, wow. Are you saying someone took it? Was it stolen?
Yes, unfortunately, it was stolen. Someone must have taken it quietly while I wasn't paying attention.
That's awful. How did you feel in that moment? Were you frightened?
I was more shocked than scared at first. My heart started racing when I realized what was inside the bag.
Let me guess. Important things?
Very important. My wallet was inside, along with my house keys, and worst of all, my passport. We came on my desk, friend. We worked on one meal for 400 years.
Your passport? That's extremely serious, especially when you're traveling.
Exactly. I knew immediately that I needed help, so my friend and I started looking around for a police officer.
Did you find one nearby?
Yes, thankfully. We spotted a police officer standing near the main road next to the park, and I quickly walked over to him.
You must have been nervous. What did you say?
I tried to speak clearly. I said, "Excuse me, officer, please help me. My bag was stolen."
My bag was stolen. That is a very important and useful sentence.
Yes, and the officer took me seriously right away. He stayed calm, but he was very focused.
Let me guess. He took out a notebook.
He did! He opened his notebook and started asking questions.
What was the first thing he asked?
He asked, "Can you describe the bag?"
Descriptions are so important in these situations.
Exactly. I told him, "It's a small brown leather bag with a long strap."
That's very clear. Color, size, and material. All good details.
Then he asked what was inside the bag, which can be a difficult question.
Yes, sometimes we don't remember everything we carry with us.
That's true, but I focused and answered carefully. I said, "My wallet, my keys, my passport, and a photo of my dog."
A photo of your dog? That's sweet.
The officer smiled when I said that too. It helped calm me down a little.
What happened next?
He wrote everything down and then gave me an official paper with a report number on it.
That report number is very important, especially when documents are stolen.
Yes, I needed that number later when I went to the embassy to replace my passport.
That's a great example of how the police are there to support people.
Absolutely. We don't need to be afraid to ask for help, even if our English isn't perfect.
Many learners worry too much about grammar and making mistakes.
But in emergencies, grammar doesn't matter. Clear communication is what matters most.
Exactly. Even simple words can save time and help people respond faster.
For example, if there's a traffic accident, you can say, "Car accident, 2 cars, people hurt."
Short sentences, strong keywords, and clear information.
Right. You can add the location and say, "Please send help. We are on Main Street."
Chloe, how about we practice this with a small role play?
That's a great idea. Let's do it.
Okay, you will be the police dispatcher, and I will call you.
Perfect. What's the situation?
I lost my child in a supermarket.
That's very stressful, but let's practice. Go ahead.
Ring Ming. Hello. Please help. I can't find my son.
Okay, sir. Please stay calm. Where are you right now?
I'm at the supermarket on Fifth Avenue.
Thank you. How old is your son?
He is 6 years old.
What is he wearing?
He's wearing a red t-shirt, blue jeans, and he's holding a toy dinosaur.
That's very helpful. Please stay near the entrance. An officer is coming.
Wow, even pretending made me feel nervous.
It does feel intense, but you did an excellent job with the description.
Descriptions really matter. Colors, clothes, and small details.
Yes, students often think learning colors is boring, but in real life, it's very powerful.
The man has a green jacket, or the car is red, can make a big difference.
Exactly. Now, Ethan, what if the police stop you while you're driving?
Ah, yes. I see the blue lights behind me. That can be scary.
First, you pull over safely and stop the car.
What should I do with my hands?
Keep your hands on the steering wheel and stay calm.
Should I get out of the car?
No, never get out unless the officer tells you to. Stay inside the car.
What will the officer usually say?
They often ask, license and registration, please.
That means my driving license and the car papers.
Yes, and you can simply say, here you are.
Simple, polite, and calm.
Here you are, officer. These are my documents.
And sometimes, the officer may ask an uncomfortable question, like, do you know why I stopped you today?
Yes, that question can make people feel nervous very quickly.
It can. Often, the reason is simple. Maybe you were driving too fast.
Driving too fast. Yes, that's called speeding.
Exactly. And if you were speeding, the best thing to do is be honest.
You can say something simple like, I'm sorry, officer. I didn't see the speed limit sign.
Being polite when speaking to the police is extremely important.
Very important. Always use respectful words like sir, ma'am, or officer.
Respect helps keep the situation calm and professional.
Yes, if someone gets angry, shouts, or argues, the situation can become much worse.
I completely agree. So remember, stay calm, be polite, and use simple English.
That is truly the best advice we can give. Now, Ethan, let me ask you something. Have you ever lost your wallet?
Chloe, I lose my wallet all the time, but usually inside my own house.
Inside the house? Where do you usually find it?
Under the sofa, in a jacket pocket, or sometimes in the kitchen.
Well, that's definitely not a police emergency.
No, of course not. I don't call the police and say, hello, my wallet is under the sofa.
I think they would not be very happy with that call.
Definitely not. But one time, something different happened.
Oh, what happened?
I found a wallet on the street while I was walking home.
You found one? What did you do?
I opened it carefully. There was money inside and an ID card with a name and photo.
That must have been a difficult moment. Some people wouldn't know what to do.
Yes, but I wanted to do the right thing. So I took the wallet to the nearest police station.
That was very honest of you. You acted like a responsible citizen.
Thank you. When I arrived, I told the officer, I found this wallet and I want to turn it in.
Turn it in is a fantastic phrasal verb.
Yes, it means to give something to the police or another authority.
And how did the officer react?
He smiled and thanked me. He said they would contact the owner.
That's such a nice ending. I imagine the person who lost it felt very worried.
Exactly. And then they probably got a phone call saying, we have your wallet.
A very happy ending indeed.
We like happy endings, especially in real-life stories.
I think we've learned a lot of useful vocabulary today.
I agree. We talked about words like stolen, noise, complaint, accident, license, description, and turn it in.
And maybe the most important word of all, help.
Yes. Never be afraid to say help when you need it.
Also, if you're traveling to another country, it's a good idea to learn the police and emergency numbers before something happens.
That's a very smart tip. When you arrive at a hotel, you can ask, what is the emergency number here?
Then save it on your phone or write it on a small piece of paper.
Truly, after this conversation, I feel much more prepared.
Me too. Knowing what to say helps us feel safer.
And we hope our listeners feel safer as well.
Yes, English isn't only for ordering food or chatting with friends.
It's also for protecting yourself and staying safe in real life.
Absolutely. Well, Ethan, our time is almost over.
Time always flies, even when we're talking about serious topics.
It was a really useful and meaningful conversation.
Before we go, we'd love to hear from our listeners.
Please leave a comment below and tell us, have you ever spoken to the police in English?
Or share the emergency number in your country. Is it 911, 112, or 999?
We're very curious to learn from you.
And if this episode helped you, please subscribe to the Miss English podcast.
Also share this episode with your family or friends. It might help them one day.
Thank you so much for listening.
Stay safe and keep practicing your English.
Goodbye for now.
Bye-bye. See you next time on the Miss English podcast.